Go.
Bondi is exactly what I was saying in the last segment, that we should all fear, because she's competent. We may not agree with her ideologically, but she actually knows how to do this job. So if anyone on the Democratic side or anyone who cared about liberty or justice was thinking, well, maybe Matt Gaetz will screw this up and that'll give us some time. No, Pam Bondi knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing about immigration. Remember, Florida is one of those states that's been very aggressive about migrants and deportation and moving people to different states and everything else like that. Florida has enacted all sorts of rules and laws to curtail students and what they can do on campuses and finding legal justifications for manipulating education money. She is a dangerous and effective pick. And that's frankly worse than what we would have got with Matt Gaetz, even with the deplorable moral background that he has.
Yeah, and I want to discuss that with a little more depth with both of you, including her record on civil rights, LGBTQ rights, and other issues that are front and center at the DOJ, and which we know were also big campaign issues this cycle.
Pam Bondi is exactly.
They're so scared. They're so scared. One more. One more here.
Florida ranks 3rd nationally in calls for help for human trafficking, where young women and children are enslaved and abused. I knew we needed all hands on deck. Businesses and hospitals to spot it, our great law enforcement to stop it, and tougher penalties to punish it. We're taking on Medicaid fraud, pill mills, gangs, and more, and I'll fight to put human trafficking monsters where they belong, behind bars.
Pam Bondi, our...
Beautiful. That's going to be the Attorney General, ladies and gents. What's going on, everybody? I got Eric with me tonight, my bald friend, Eric, one of the bald trio. But let's say hey to some people in the chat real quick. Rum Dog numero uno tonight. Hobbs Dose 1230. You're third, buddy. I'm sorry. Country is fourth. Let's see here. Honey Badger, Hobbs. Pam Hayes, what's going on? Dave Munns, formerly Wrong Way. Got a lot on DJT. Oh, so do I, man. Alan Krentz, JC Cool. Donna's in the house. Alan Agajanian, I think I said that right. US1. Gretchen, what's going on? Good to see you. Vinman, Steve Bernard. Lots of good people tonight. Lots of good people. So tonight, guys, lots to talk about. We're gonna cover a lot on this Matt Gaetz thing because it was massive news. Really shook up a lot of people, threw people off, got a lot of people scared. But as I just showed you guys in that clip, Trump, I think, did something really amazing. I think he played them. I think he did. Because we all, once Gaetz withdrew today, we're all saying to ourselves, what happened? Like, we at least wanted the fight, right, Eric? Were you thinking we'd get a fight, at least a confirmation battle?
Yeah. I mean, it was all gearing up to that. It was building up, and then bait and switch.
Yeah. So I thought we were going to get the fight. I thought there was a good chance that Gaetz was going to convince him. He was talking about momentum yesterday. I played it on my show. So I was shocked when he withdrew. It made sense, but I was shocked in the moment. But then we all started talking about maybe it's going to be the guy from Missouri. Maybe it's going to be Ken Paxton, Kash Patel. And then Trump drops on us tonight, Pam Bondi, who former Attorney General of Florida, major advocate for going after human trafficking, which sense a theme here, Eric. Sense a theme over the last. And then on top of that, guys, she's been loyal to Trump since the beginning, since 2016. Has a great track record working with MAGA, and then she's got experience that even Gaetz doesn't have. And so, as much as I love Gaetz on a personal level, my heart wants Matt Gaetz in there. I want to see him doing press conferences, and I want to see him going after people, and I want Gaetz in my life more because I just love the man. But for the purposes of this, Pam Bondi might actually be the better pick. And
well, we kind of turned the tables on them with what they did in the presidential race. Because
yes.
You remember with Biden, like all the ammunition was against going after Biden, and then all of a sudden there's a new person in there.
Yeah.
And they've ramped up all this fight against Matt Gaetz, and now he's not even the candidate anymore.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I agree. I think they got themselves all up in a tizzy over Gaetz. They were ready for him. They had all the attacks planned for him. They were going after him for all these allegations that they've never gone after him for, which is like they called him, they said he's sex trafficked, he slept with a minor, and none of these things they ever went after him for because the investigations turned up nothing. The witnesses weren't deemed credible. But what happened as well is that those investigations now automatically get dropped, which is interesting because he's been withdrawn. And what's interesting is this opens up a world of possibilities for Gaetz. Number one, Rubio needs to be replaced in Florida. And so as of right now, DeSantis is going to either appoint Laura Trump has been pushed around. She'd be great. And then the other one is Gaetz is now available. So we could get Gaetz, which to me would be the ultimate revenge. The Senate doesn't like him, and then they place him in the Senate for 4 years. I mean, that would just that would be the ultimate troll. And the thing is, too, is Rubio is, none of us love Rubio. I think Trump has reasons why he's putting him as Secretary of Defense. And I trust Trump. Trump can fire him if he's not MAGA enough for what he's being put there for. So I'm not worried about it.
I'm thinking the same thing about Dr. Oz.
Yes, I think there's something there too. But here's the thing is that he gets a senator that's going to be more MAGA, which is actually even more important than having a cabinet member who's more MAGA, because you cannot fire a senator. You can't get rid of a senator if they cross you. And
especially with a slim margin now. We've got a couple of these ladies.
You need senators who will vote with you nonstop. So he's going to get a senator who is even more loyal than Rubio. Who Rubio, to his credit, has been pretty good with the MAGA crowd since he lost to Trump in 2016. He came back around. But, the one thing we still don't like about Rubio is he's a neocon. But he can't choose to go to war. So I'm not worried about that. But the other thing that somebody brought up today, interesting about Gaetz, is that he resigned from the House, but he won his election again this year. And so he resigned, and that might only count for the 118th Congress, and he might still be able to be seated for the 119th Congress, because technically he didn't resign from that because it hasn't started yet. So Gaetz could just go right back into his House seat again. So this might have just been one of the ultimate rope-a-dopes from Trump. It's pretty amazing to see how, because I'll tell you what, with Pam Bondi, I'm telling you right now, she will be confirmed. There's nothing on her. She's a woman. Good luck trying to throw all your sexual stuff at her. She's got 8 years as a former attorney general, so good luck throwing any of the don't have experience things at her. And she's completely loyal, MAGA, Trump loyalist. So I just think this is absolutely brilliant. And we still get to keep these other guys like Ken Paxton in states where we need him, quite frankly, like Texas, where he's been doing a great job cleaning up the elections and going after. So I just see win-wins all around on this, even though initially it hurt. But anyway, sorry, thoughts. I'm ranting.
Yeah, no, it's great. If I could make a quick little take back to the election, I haven't been on your show since our 7 hour
election night.
That night.
Yeah, 7 hours. I know, that was amazing.
I was listening to your show the other day. You're talking about how it's only been 2 weeks, and I'm like, that can't be right. And I looked on the calendar to see if you made a mistake. But how much has happened in 2 weeks? It's unbelievable.
Oh my God, it's been crazy. Yeah, it's been crazy.
Going back, as we react or as we watch the Democrat Party and all the, news anchors and everybody, the commentators talking about it, I think what happened, and a lot of MAGA people are like, obviously, why would you put Kamala Harris in there? Like, she's the worst candidate. And, I think a lot of people have been trying to figure it out. I think what happened is the Democrat Party, in their hubris, thought that they could plug and play an election.
Oh, 100%.
I really think that's what happened. And they thought it really doesn't matter who we put in because we run the machine.
Yes.
And we can make it, we could put a, wet bag in there.
100%.
We'll win. And,
yeah,
they got proven wrong. And that's why they're like, they can't come to terms with it because they still think they have all this power. But I think what we see with Trump and everything he's done so far, and even, the games he's playing with nominations and things like that, I feel like our side, the MAGA side, is 100% in control.
Yes.
And there's really nothing the other side can do about it, which is so satisfying.
I agree. I mean, I talked about this the other night. I think the Democrats are so destroyed that they're just scrambling right now. And right now, our only enemy that is any threat is the within enemy, which is like senators, because the votes are so close. And even in the House, we don't have that big of a lead. So that's going to be the only fight for the next 2 years until the next midterm election, if they somehow manage to win some elections. But hopefully we get our electoral system cleaned up by then so that we don't have to worry about it as much. But until then, we're only dealing with Republicans and Democrats. Hakeem Jeffries tweeted out something today about like, this is not what Americans voted for. And I just tweeted back at him and I was like, hey, you're not welcome at the adult table right now. You just go sit at the child table because nobody's listening to you right now. You're at the child table. So real quick, let me get some shout outs here in the chat. I got Midnight Mermaid with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Midnight, for your continued support. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Kilgill, welcome. Derek, Harold Lott, Cameron Shreds, and Jay Abrams. Jay, are you on here? What's up, buddy? Welcome to the membership. You guys now have access to Discord and to the members live. So welcome to that. Thank you so much, Midnight. And also Mason Allen, Moose with the 5 memberships. So 10 new members tonight. He added Great Stuna, Dammit Sean, Healthy Mama, Papa Mud, Rick D, and Ordinary Evidence. Welcome in, guys. Thank you so much for those memberships, guys. Let me see here. I
saw Donna earlier. Shout out to Donna. Dustin Wright says, I live in Florida. Why is Trump picking off all our people? So not any other states. He's a Floridian, and Florida's just got a great, you could call it MAGA Central right now. But I don't think you're producing good people, and then we'll pick them off.
I don't think you're hurting at all there, Gretchen Rutherford says, for Bondi, someone says she withdrew some action against Trump University way back in return for some endorsement. I don't know anything about that. But I'm not saying it's not possible. Here, have I seen the video of Trump with Gaetz saying the two of them have a secret? Yes, I did. And, maybe this was part of it. So we'll find out. Didn't Trump say he was going to tell us after the election? So we'll get our time with that. But
yeah, I'm still waiting for that secret.
I know.
What's the announcement?
I know, it's very exciting. So let me keep moving through stuff. I have a couple things I want to share here. This right here on, where is it here? So right here on Pam, wanted to share some of this because I'm actually really, the more I've looked into this, the more excited I am about this pick. I really think, and again, as much as I love Gaetz, after looking at this Pam Bondi thing, I actually think Bondi's better equipped for this and to get things done. Because, Gaetz is a wrecking ball. He was going to come in. He's got a law degree. He's brilliant. So I don't worry about any of that. I don't worry about his loyalty. I don't worry about his vision for the cause, any of that. The one thing Gaetz didn't have, though, is that management experience of a major agency. And because he didn't have that, there's always a learning curve. And with Bondi, we might jump or accelerate that learning curve significantly. And so, again, Trump had all the wolves go after Gaetz. They failed, and now we get this. And here's a little background on her. So she's an attorney, lobbyist, politician, been notably active in Florida state politics and national politics, particularly during Trump. I don't care when she was born. That doesn't matter. But she's got a long history. But here we go. When she's elected as 37th and first female attorney general of Florida in 2010, served 8 years. Known for aggressive stance against pill mills, combating opioids, which I know Trump hasn't spoken about it as much in this election, but in his first election, the opioid crisis was one of his main things he was running on. And so here we are again with the opioid crisis. He really cares about this, and human trafficking. Those two things, along with cleaning up the DOJ, I think are Trump's big three. I really do. And I think those are the things that, and this is exactly why he picked her. So she gained attention for unsuccessful lawsuit against Obamacare, but hey, she at least went after it. She was part of his legal defense team during the impeachment trial in 2020, which he won. Worked at the White House special government employee to assist with messaging during impeachment. She joined a lobbying firm for MAGA stuff and foreign interests and blah blah blah. And she's she leads the legal arm of America First Policy Institute, aligning with Trump's political agenda. You can't get more MAGA than this woman. Let me put it that way. You can't. You guys could throw stones and maybe say, oh, she was a lobbyist, stuff like that. But listen, if she's lobbying on the right side of things, it's okay. But anyways, so I just the more I see, the better, the more excited I am. Moose with the super chat says, I think Musk assured the pro-Trump deal funding primaries against anyone who opposes him. I mean, yeah, there's definitely truth to that, Moose. They found, let me pull that up actually, because I want to address what you just said. So here's the 4 senators who were dead set against Gaetz. Okay. So they, somebody wrote, I just like staring at her rather than Gaetz. She's an attractive woman. I mean, she is. She's also almost 60, so not I'm past my time. But so these were the 5. Mitch McConnell, who's already gone. Well, actually, he's not gone. He just stepped down from leadership. Murkowski and Collins, the 2 Democrats in Republican clothes. Markwayne Mullin, who, if this is true, he's a liar because he came out in support of Gaetz on the tweeting it out. And then the new senator-elect from Utah, which I heard this guy's probably a RINO, and he's already shown his colors. So there's the 5. Unfortunately, we are stuck with Curtis for 6 years because he just got elected. Mullen, I think, has 4 years, and Collins and Murkowski, I believe, only have 2 left. So, guys, we got to get rid of these 2. I don't know how we're going to, because Maine and then in Alaska, they have ranked choice voting, which is how she keeps her ugly mug in that seat. But McConnell's going to retire after he's done here. But these 2, we've got to figure out a way to get primary these 2 and get rid of them. That's all there is to it. So
let's go, Musk.
Yeah, let's go, Musk. Yeah. Let's any other things here in the chat real quick. That's your age, Alan?
Q Alert says, bite me, YouTube. He's messaging from Rumble.
Oh my gosh. You know, guys, I'm not a part of the belief of one of the conspiracy. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
Sorry, guys. I had that video on retainer and I accidentally clicked on it. We don't ever want to see that again.
You're reminding us.
Those are bad memories. I'm sorry. Technical difficulties here. What I was about to say is that if you guys want to watch it again, I'll play it. We'll get a good laugh. But what I was going to say is I don't believe in I've talked about the Q stuff before and what I believe about it and what I don't. Some people believe like time future telling, that kind of stuff came about from Q. I don't believe that. But what I do believe is there's some information there that was shared that was good to know and helped us discover things. But this is wild. Let me share this. This is a Q post of January 11th, 2019. And it says, if a woman's selected as nominee, does that eliminate wrap-up smear regarding sexual assault? Mm-hmm. What other tactics might be planned to block or force name removal? Why is the Senate important? Who controls the Senate? 53-47. That's a wild post. Now,
Dude.
what I can say to that is that it's also it was also 53-47 after 2018. So in Trump's midterm, they lost the House, but they gained Senate seats. And so this could just be a post that has, like, it had meaning then, but it looks meaningful again now. So I do want to add that
to do with a woman and sexual assault case at the time.
I honestly can't remember, so I'd have to go back and look.
That seems pretty unique to what we're seeing. It could be a repeat.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very interesting for sure. But the Senate numbers were 53-47 then, and they're 53-47 now. So I just wanted to add that context.
Yeah.
Moose Knuckle again with another super chat says congressional primaries spend like what, 10 million? That's a drop in the bucket for Musk. Yeah, that is exactly right. That is exactly right. So, but pretty wild stuff, right? Jordan with the super chat says, "Don't lie, I use the I'm a Man video as my daily motivation."
Get you through the day, Jordan.
Jordan, don't make me play it again. Don't make me play it again, because I'm scared of that big boy who eats carburetors for breakfast. He's just he's pretty intense. I don't know. Maybe at the end of it, we'll play it again and just have a good laugh, because that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. A couple other things on Bondi real quick here. And by the way, guys, if please like, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, especially, please appreciate the subscription. If you like what I do, like it, help the algorithm, goose these videos. Since the election, this channel has been growing, which is awesome. I think the Trump election has scared YouTube, and I'm no longer shadow banned, so that's excellent. Even though they still play some games with my channel. But hey, yeah, if you wouldn't mind, like, share, subscribe, and I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah,
so,
we need some more likes, guys.
Yeah, thank you. So here we go. Pam Bondi is a huge loyalist to Trump, supported the voter fraud investigations in 2020, was part of his impeachment defense, served on America First. So, but this is a part that I didn't read before. Supported the voter fraud investigations in 2020. So she's not one of those Republicans who's like, yeah, I love a lot what Trump did, but he should admit that election they won, and so blah blah blah. I just, that stuff drives me nuts. And we have a lot of people really starting to believe and see, the ones that follow Bondi, that she might be better than Gaetz. We have right here, Bondi's intimately familiar with the house she's about to clean. I love that, the house she's about to clean. They should have settled with Matt Gaetz. And so I just, it gets me excited, guys. I'm getting excited. I don't know about you, but this is good stuff in my opinion. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these things all play out, because obviously so far we've already seen some possible bait and switch. We've seen some games that are being played. I'm sure that they're necessary for whatever reason, find out who's on the right side or whatever it is. Personally, I'm really looking at this CMS head with Dr. Oz, because CMS is the regulatory body over my business.
Yeah, talk about that for a minute. So you work with Medicare.
I do. So I am an insurance agent, and I help people with their Medicare insurance, and also do some like retirement planning and, taking 401ks out of the stock market, stuff like that. But a lot of my business is Medicare, and CMS is the regulatory body. And they have so many dumb rules that I would be so happy if somebody would come and take those out. So I don't, I'm starting to look into Dr. Oz. I wonder if he's going to be removed at some point and replaced with someone else, or how that's all going to shake out. But the CMS could really use some cleanup. I think it's like $250 billion a year is lost on fraud, waste, and abuse within Medicare.
Oh my God.
And then they put all these dumb rules on agents. Like, for example, if I want to help someone sign up for insurance, I have to get them to sign a form that gives me permission to talk about certain products. I can't talk about anything else, and I have to get them to sign it 48 hours ahead of when I actually present the plan to them and show them what it is. So imagine,
Oh my God.
you know, how annoying that is. And which this part I think is absolutely illegal, but we're required to record every sales call with our clients. And if they don't agree to being on a recorded call, then we're supposed to walk away from the sale.
Are you serious?
So I would just be so happy if I don't know how Dr. Oz is going to handle things, or if it's going to eventually be someone else. But if they would scale those things back, and beyond that, they let all this fraud go on, and yet we get punished for it. And they have like these call centers that are always switching seniors. You ask any of your seniors on here, they just get bombarded. It's not even fair what they have to deal with. But it could definitely use some cleanup, and I'm all in favor of it.
That's unreal. Yeah, so I spoke about Oz, I think, last night. Again, one of the reasons I don't worry about the cabinet picks, even when they're not exactly who I want them to be, is because Trump can fire them. And that means that if they don't fulfill their mission, he will get rid of him. And so that's why I don't worry about it, because Trump is clearly not playing the same game by the same rules he did last time. He's not scared. He's got mission in mind. He's not messing around. He doesn't have to worry about re-election. He's just going for it. And he's built a team, and he's going to do it. So but we get somebody like Oz, who has some shady dealings with celebrity stuff. He's got pictures with Marina Abramovich, just stuff I don't like. But will he do the job Trump appoints him to? I think so. But if he doesn't, he's gone. And there is some questions. Did Trump bring him out to expose him? Because Trump doesn't love Oz. He did support him as Pennsylvania senator against Fetterman, which he lost. But Oz is not a big Trump guy either. He's pretty much establishment Republican type. It was fairly liberal before he joined the Republican Party. And there's lots of reasons not to trust him. But again, he's having a limited role. It's not like he's a senator where we have to worry about his vote. You can't get rid of him. Nothing like that. So the cabinet picks, I don't get worried about that stuff. I really don't.
I also wonder how many of these people had to play the game in order to get where they wanted to be. Yeah. And I wonder how many of them, now that there's a new sheriff in town, are like, finally, I can actually line up more with my values.
Yeah, it's very possible.
And some of them, I think, maybe have been associated with certain people, but now that, they're not under the thumb anymore, it may be a welcome thing. So we'll see. I mean, we may see some switching sides going on.
100%. Well, I don't know about, we might see a little switching sides. I think most of the moderate Democrats have already been weeded out. But we might see a little bit of that. But what we'll definitely see is we'll see people who, especially in the Republican Party, might have felt pressure to not join in on the side before, and now feel free to, because real quick, I'm gonna have this up in the background because Bitcoin's going nuts right now. It is broken 99,000.
We're almost there.
We might watch in real time hit 100,000 tonight as we talk.
History's happening.
That's exciting stuff right there.
Which means altcoin season's coming.
Which, just to show this real quick.
Dude, XRP is 138.
Yeah, it's going nuts. I hit 140 earlier. So this is one of the reasons it's doing it. Gensler announced he's stepping down on January 20th today, and it's official. So that's one of the reasons I think Bitcoin's having this run.
I was hoping you'd get out sooner.
So very exciting. Got a couple super chats to read real quick. Moose Knuckles says, clearly Medicare doesn't do hair plugs for you.
Sorry,
Thank you, Moose. And he also says Trump should replace Judge Merchan with Gaetz. I wish he could. I think that's a lifetime appointment, but that would be great. So anyways, we were talking about, so we just saw like when those 5 Republicans came out as going against Gaetz. You know, those rhinos, Collins, Murkowski, McConnell, the newly elected one, and I can't remember the last one. But I'm telling you, 10 years ago, 6 years ago, 4 years ago, there would have been significantly more than 5. And it might have been 10, it might have been 15 who would have been more on that side, because guess what? Before Trump won this time, they all believed that he was a blip, that 4 years was an accident. They got rid of him with the J6 stuff. He wasn't coming back. And they really believed that it was going to be establishment fully on board again. But we crushed them. We crushed them so bad this time that now they know who their daddy is. And it's Trump and it's the MAGA movement. And because of that, it's dwindling. And we're going to see more and more choose their loyalty on the MAGA wing of things, the Trump side of things. The only ones, in my opinion, that hold steady, that keep that fight up, are going to be the ones who are so corrupted or so blackmailed they can't escape, or they can't cut a deal, basically, because they got to be terrified at all that Trump's going to do. Imagine what's going to happen when he gets in. We got Bondi in now as AG, Trump working with her. Imagine what's going to happen with the Epstein list, the Diddy list. Go on. I mean, Ellen DeGeneres fled to UK. So there's going to be a lot of exposure in Washington as well as Hollywood and music industry and everything. So
why would she leave America? That's weird.
I don't know. She did tweet, "There's no party like a Diddy party." So you know,
there's
always
her
that
show set was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Vince has tweeted that Pittsburgh's about to lose to Cleveland. I'm sorry, Eric. That's a tough one after you guys just beat the Ravens. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know if you saw the game. It's like full on whiteout.
No, I didn't.
Once dude, it was snowing so crazy. They had that guy shoveling the yard markers. But once you get to that point, if you're behind, forget it. And
you're enduring the fact that what's his face, Russell Wilson just can't do well unless everything goes right. So there's that.
You know what? 8-3, we're all right.
All right. So speaking of people scared of what's coming up, hold on real quick. Brett tweets or chats at us. I wish Pelosi had gone to one of those P. Diddy parties and she would leave the country. I'm sure Pelosi's done much worse, but she's old. She is delusional.
She's better covering her tracks.
She thinks she has so much power still, covered her tracks. That woman is. She's going to hold on till she just collapses of an aneurysm. All right, so I want to share this because speaking of scared people, Mayorkas, DHS secretary, is currently today negotiating him stepping down. And this is what's interesting. First of all, you don't see this usually. You don't negotiate your stepping down. You just step down. But he is trying to get out early. And here it is, seeking assurances of immunity from potential investigations under a future Trump administration.
He's trying to get out of something, that's for sure.
Why would you need that? Interesting. Why would you need to do that unless you've just been breaking the law with the border this whole time? Is it, maybe this has something to do with the 300,000 plus missing children going on down at the border? This is crazy to me. I've never seen this before, ever. And if one of you guys have an example of it, let me know in the past. But the fact that the current Department of Homeland Security secretary is stepping down. This is who Kristi Noem's going to replace, by the way. The fact he's stepping down and asking to get immunity. What kind of deal is he offering? Now, he's got to have something else to offer, correct? So maybe if he's offering something,
information,
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, because this does not happen. What happens is you're an elected official. or you're an appointed official, I'm sorry, by the elected officials for the term of an administration. When that administration leaves, you simply just go. There's no negotiating. You pack up, you go. The new person comes in. There's a transition. That's it. You bring in the new person if you can and show them the ropes if you get that opportunity. But that's it. You do not negotiate your stepping down. It's insane. And I think this is one of the biggest crooks in the Biden administration too. So
imagine if you quit your job and asked for an immunity agreement.
Yeah.
Do we need to ask a couple more questions here?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, effectively, he works for the American people, so we are his boss. So it's like, you know what? If that's your attitude as you're leaving, I think we've got to talk a little bit here.
Yeah, 100%. So I just find that fascinating. We're going to see more of this, in my opinion. So one thing, last night, my focus was on the fear stuff going on with Russia and Ukraine and World War III, and kind of I specifically called out Alex Jones, who I love. It's not that I'm against him. It's just I didn't appreciate his way of tweeting stuff out. I thought it was very fear baiting. And then today it kind of ramped up a little bit as Russia struck a target and Putin delivered something. But it's starting to scale down again. And I think Trump is actively talking to him and Zelensky and trying, because Putin said in his message, we desire peace. We prefer that. And I believe him. I mean, he doesn't want to do all this. So they try to scale that up. That's coming back down. As they realize, as it gets closer and closer, and they realize they cannot get rid of Trump, there's going to be more and more of this. I mean, how many cabinet people could we actually see negotiate their stepping down? It's just the craziest thing. I mean, but we might see it from senators. We might just get ready to see anything, guys. We have no idea what's coming. These people are scared. These people are really terrified right now.
We're still just 2.5 weeks from the election.
Yeah. 2.5 weeks. I know.
We've got months. We got 2 months until he takes office, and then it's just going to be wild. I'm so excited for everything that happens.
Oh my God! Think about all that could still happen, and we have 60 days till inauguration. At this point, they have no way to stop Trump from being inaugurated, from being confirmed by the Senate, being inaugurated. Kamala Harris is going to have to go up there and count the electoral votes, and she's going to cackle cry or something. And she's going to have to do it, which is beautiful. And then we're going to see Trump come in. But this is how they're going to try to get out of stuff. They're going to have to try to negotiate ahead of time. What's going to be interesting, I'll tell you right now, if there's news that he gets immunity and steps down ahead of time, there was a deal cut. That's the only way. I
think we win either way, because either we get him or we get names and receipts.
Absolutely.
But we do have some breaking news, and it's pretty sad. But Moose is in talks to step down as my 6,328th biggest fan. And at this point, Moose, no immunity. Absolutely not.
Yeah, you don't get immunity.
No, negotiations are breaking down as we speak.
I love it. That's great. Yep, 100%. Yep. Tyler Larson asks, what's going on with Matt being sacrificed? Tyler, the title of this is, and you might want to go back to the beginning of the video. We talked about Matt Gaetz withdrawing his name from the nomination of Attorney General, and the switcheroo where Pam Bondi is now in, who might be a better choice, and how Gaetz will still be a prominent figure going forward. So that's the long and short of it. But you want to go listen to the full breakdown if you didn't get the news on Gaetz today. We covered it at the beginning of the show. When Putin gave Trump the soccer ball, he said, "The ball's in your court."
Yeah, he did.
I like that.
What was in the ball is the question.
Kimber says they need to eliminate immunity. He needs to be held accountable. Listen, I am in complete favor of that, except for if he cuts a deal that leads to bigger, more powerful people getting busted, much more people getting busted. That's the kind of deal that's worth it. So it all depends on what happens. That's how I look at it. We want justice, and to get justice, sometimes you have to break some eggs, and sometimes that egg that gets broken is one person who, listen, if his crimes are as bad as we think they are, what he'd do is he'd get like a house arrest or a light prison sentence, and maybe a minimal security prison, some that's like much smaller than what he would have gotten otherwise. But it doesn't mean he won't get anything. Okay, just remember that.
If he gets a new immunity, they're going up, not down, for sure.
Exactly. You don't punch down, you punch up. So Brett says, I don't think the Trump administration is going to negotiate anything with these people who destroyed our country for years or decades. Mayorkas committed treason and executed illegal orders. I agree with you, Brett, except for I can't say 100% they won't negotiate. I agree with you that they destroyed our country or tried to, and did a lot of illegal things. The thing I'd say is that, again, like Eric said, if they do negotiate, it's to get something bigger. But remember, there's been times where Trump has said we have it all. And if that's true, there's no need to negotiate. So that's always a possibility as all. So Halsey, Israel part war, that's to trigger an over response to scapegoat us in NATO and flip Turkey and Saudis. I kind of think I get what you're saying, Hollies, but I'm not quite sure. It's kind of hard to read your writing. I'm sorry. Moody says Pam Bondi, WWE CEO later. Oh yeah, Linda McMahon for education is great. Tulsi Gabbard, boy, Trump really doesn't like strong, intelligent women, does he? She says. Yeah, I would say that's definitely not Trump's problem. Vince says, I've talked to Elon. He's coming with some to speed up time, so it's not 60 days, 3 to 4 weeks tops. Yeah, we wish. That would be great. What's up, Victor and Jeff? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Not a McRib sandwich too. Big text, make Gaetz the special prosecutor for Crossfire Hurricane. That is another possibility for Gaetz, and we didn't talk about that. They could appoint him to be a deputy director, which does not need Senate confirmation, by the way. A deputy director can be directly appointed without confirmation. Special prosecutor as well. So all kinds of stuff, Called him a Nazi for years. I imagine he works with them to prove me wrong. Are you second about Trump being a Nazi? You all over the place? I'm sorry, Halsey. I can't quite understand everything you're writing, the way you're writing it. I can't tell if you're messing with me or if you're trying to get a point across. I'm sorry. Maybe slow down on the typing. So just to get a little more clear, it's hard to interpret chats too quick. Hero says, Mayorkas, give us Joe and Obama and Soros. I mean, absolutely. Soros is not American, so that'd be tougher. But
he's also not hardly alive anymore.
Yeah, he is on his deathbed from what I've heard.
He's old.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he's talking about the younger guy.
Brett says, hit like and subscribe like Hunter hits the crack pipe. Let's go check
it hard, baby.
On Bitcoin real quick. So
we're teetering.
It's interesting. Well, it's still hanging in there. It went to 98 for a minute, popped back up. Let's talk for a minute what I think here. Somebody brought up today, asked me in our Discord, do I think crypto, actually it wasn't Discord, it was on a text. They asked me if, see now it's back up to 30 almost, 99.30. They asked me if I think crypto will take a dump when Trump comes in, if they pull the rug on the rest of the economy, which I do think's coming. One way or the other, we're having a correction in our economy. I don't know when it'll happen. I think it's going to happen close to when Trump gets inaugurated because the timing just makes perfect sense for them to screw him over and make it even harder for him. But there's tons of opportunity in a crisis like that too. But will crypto be just as affected? My initial thought is that crypto seems to be going much stronger now that Trump's in. They know he's a pro-crypto president. The SEC is starting to back off. Gensler's already announced he's resigning. All good things for crypto. The bullishness in crypto, I believe, crypto will not be unaffected if stocks go down majorly. If there's a correction and the economy goes into recession, it'll definitely hit crypto at first, but I don't expect it to be as deep a hit as the stock market would take. And I also expect the recovery to be much quicker, especially because if there is a major correction in the stock market, that money people are going to want to put back in is the stock market will burn people with trust. And so it will go and those people will start trusting Bitcoin more instead. And so I think all that will play a major factor.
And the market cap on Bitcoin is almost $2 trillion.
That's nuts.
That's
man.
insane, dude.
That's nuts. It's getting crazier all the time. It's getting crazier all the time. Big Tech says Trump should fire every lawyer at the DOJ like Clinton did, but he won't. I mean, it's yet to be seen, Tex. I think Trump is a pragmatist, so he's not going to go in and fire everybody if there are some good ones. So you got to consider that as well. But I do think there's going to be a major cleansing. Moody says only 120 likes. Come on, guys, we can do better than that. We're at 600 watching. We can get more likes, so please hit the like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. If you like your daily news, unfiltered here, political with a lot of prognostication that I just got to toot my own horn here. I'm batting 85, 90% on my Trump predictions since about the election and everything. I'm doing pretty well. So
and a couple good looking guys to boot. So
yes. Yeah. One of them still has hair too. And that would be me.
Not me.
Big JR says, who is Matt Gaetz? Provide a biography from embryo until today. I think I'm good. There. Kimber, Soros lives in New York and is a naturalized citizen. Is that for real? I did not know Soros was in America. Are you sure about that? Moose says nobody calls anyone Nazis. It's racist. I know a black Nazi. What are you saying, Moose? What are you drinking tonight?
This is having a good time.
The Browns have won, so there's that. Sorry, Eric. Jetlag says it's only a movie. They already know the ending, but fighting to change it. Had to be done this way. Wake up people around the world. I absolutely agree with that. That the ending is inevitable. Trump's going to get in power. Major changes happening. And guys, I honestly think we're going to get the I think we're going to get the kind of change that most of us never thought we'd see in our lifetimes, or we'd only hoped for. I really do. I was listening to Mark Halperin on his two-way channel today, and he was saying that expect a revolutionary presidency. And Halperin is an old school reporter. He's even a little center left, I think. But he tries to be very fair. And even him, when accepting questions, was saying, I expect the government to be significantly downsized under this Trump administration. And that's just music to my ears. But I think we're going to see beyond Reagan. For those of you old enough to remember, to be old enough during Reagan, to actually notice what he was doing and how the country was getting better under Reagan, expect that on steroids. It's going to be much better. Reagan was back-to-back in his administration. He didn't have a break like Trump had. They did try to kill Reagan. Reagan played nicer with the Democrats than Trump does. Reagan had to, because he never had the House. He never had the full government like Trump did. Reagan made serious mistakes. He was the one who put Fauci in. He's the one who allowed it, or made it so that you can't sue if you're vaccine injured, or that they're not held liable, I should say. He made it so basically he naturalized over 3 million illegals in amnesty, which basically turned California blue forever. So there's significant mistakes under Reagan, and that doesn't negate all the good he did, especially economically. Reagan was great. He was a patriot. and loved America. So, but he had to play with the establishment a lot more than Trump's going to have to. And I think Trump is going to do what the hope of Reagan was 40 years ago. That's what I think's coming.
Reagan worked within the system that he was in, and he made a lot of changes, but Trump's going to remake the system itself.
I think there's a lot of truth to that. Yeah. And when you say that, I mean, with limitations, it's going to be the system we want it to be. That's actually the constitutional system, not the fake system built on top of it, I think is what you mean by that.
The constitutional system is not what Reagan had to deal with. He had to deal with the administrative state.
Yes, 100%.
And that's what Trump's going to be changing.
Yeah. I mean, the administrative state is the biggest it's ever been right now. And because it's the biggest it's ever been right now, it's also got the most area for cleanup. I mean, as example, in 2017, when Trump came in, he passed an executive order that for every new regulation they came up with, they had to cut a 2-to-1. And he said in reality, they ended up cutting like 3.5 to 1 or 4 to 1, somewhere in there. Awesome. Trump is saying now he wants to do it 10 to 1. So every new regulation eliminate 10.
Let's get rid of some of those Medicare ones that hamper my business.
That's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. So Kimber says Soros has been here since 1970. Interesting. I thought I'm not saying he didn't become a citizen or a dual citizen. I just didn't know he was actually living here right now. I thought he was overseas. I thought he ran off once Trump got in, but apparently I'm wrong. Todd says Patrick Byrne out for FCC chairman. Apparently he was an FBI spy who bribed Hillary. Patrick Byrne has crazy stories. What I'll tell you about Patrick Byrne is he's in bad health right now. He's fighting. Patrick Byrne has beaten cancer 4 times, but he hasn't said what's ailing him, but there's a lot of speculation that he's got cancer again. And on top of that, he fled the country. He's said he's being hunted by, the deep state or whoever. So he's not even in the country right now. So, I think because of his health and because of all that's going on, Patrick Byrne is not even looking to try to be in the SEC right now, which is a bummer. But he has offered his consulting. I think, Patrick Byrne's the kind of guy who has everybody's phone number in power. I don't think that it's not like he's not going to have an ear, listening.
There's plenty of good choices as well.
And that's also absolutely true. Absolutely true. So Alan says Soros is dual Hungary and United States. Okay. I knew he was Hungarian. I didn't know about the United States part, but I guess I think of him as such an outsider enemy that I can't even imagine him being an American citizen because he hates our country so much. So Randy says America was even more blue in 1980 than 2024. It took the worst president before Biden to elect Reagan. Yes and no, Randy. Was it more blue? Yes. Was the blue as crazy? No. The Democrats have significantly changed in the last 44 years. And for one thing, Democrats used to be the anti-war party. Now that's us. Democrats used to be the anti-establishment party. Now that's us. Democrats used to be the don't trust big pharma party. Now that's us. And as I said a couple weeks ago, the Trump movement, the MAGA movement, took everything good from the Democrats, brought it over to us, and all we lost was all the bad. The Cheneys, the nonsense, the trust in our institutions that don't deserve to be trusted. So it was an exchange where the Democrats took on all of our crap and gave us all their gold. And so we're truly the America party now. It's
and they didn't notice that they became warmongers in the process.
Well, they were too busy counting their paychecks. They're too busy counting their paychecks that they because they were selling their souls.
Like the rank and file
Yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, like, all the Iraq war stuff happened, and are you for or against the war? That was party lines, and they were fiercely anti-war. And
Yeah.
yet
Yes.
they don't seem to mind that their leaders went the complete opposite direction.
Oh my God. I mean, when I was in college, I was very, I was a young guy, been raised Republican, really didn't know, back then, 24 years ago, the only people who really were looking behind the scenes and looking for the crazy stuff were the weirdos. And everybody else either just trusted their party, and or were fed up with both parties and were voting independent, but you still weren't into this conspiracy stuff. We're so sheltered from it all.
Actually, the Democrats were into the conspiracy stuff with 9/11.
That's what I was about to say, is that it was the Democrats, my Democrat friends in college, who I couldn't stand their politics, but I love them as people. We all got along. But they would bring up the craziest stuff about 9/11 and the Iraq war. And I'd be like, you guys are insane. And now I'm like, oh, no, I keep all the other stuff I still liked about the Republican Party. Like, there's still a smaller government, more capitalist. I like their moral platform better in most areas. So, but then I'm done with that war side. I'm like, oh yeah, I think all this crazy stuff about 9/11, I'm tracking with you. I'm tracking with this.
Yeah, let's go revisit that.
We were lied to about WMDs. Like I track with all that. And now all the Democrats are like, bring me the Cheneys. I'm like, what happened to you guys? You're crazy. So it's hilarious. David Schweppe says, just came to your channel. This evening I spoke with my spouse about the Gaetz situation, said exactly what you're saying. Trump exposed the RINOs in the Senate. Awesome, David. I appreciate that. If you want to hit a like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that as well. We great minds got to stick together, David. But thank you for that. I appreciate it. Let's see here. What else? Kimber says Trump brought both the old Democrat beliefs and the old liberal beliefs and mixed them together as one. Yeah, I agree with that. And the old Republican beliefs, I'd say. And the best, like I said, it's all the best of all the worlds. We're at 99,000. We're about to break 99,100 in Bitcoin. So that's exciting. Get Tucker to run against Susan Collins. That'll be epic. Does Tucker live in Maine now? Wow, 99,140. We could see 100,000 tonight, guys. That's pretty exciting.
We got to get Anthony on here for the big occasion. Where's he at?
Well, he's got a baby right now, and so he doesn't get much time.
No excuses.
I'm going to try to get him on soon. We need to talk crypto. Jeff Chapman says Professor Nez was suggesting Josh Hawley would make a great pick for AG. I think Hawley would. I was a little upset at Hawley. What was it he recently came out for that shocked me? I can't remember it off the top of my head. There was some. I love Hawley. I always have. He had something he was pushing lately that really shocked me. I didn't like, but I do think he'd be like a great AG. I don't think it's going to be him. I think Bondi will get through, but we could keep Hawley as a senator too. Let's not negate how important it is to have good senators, guys, because senators cannot be fired. They have to be elected. They get 6 years, and you need every vote. So
let's not gut the Senate.
Let's not gut it. And maybe Hawley could have more roles in the Vance administration, which will be the next administration. I'm calling it right now. We're going to get 8 years of Vance after this. I really believe that's going to happen. Unless the Dems come up with another Obama type who can dupe the nation. But guys, with X now and free speech and the way the internet's being used, I just don't think that can ever happen again. I really do not.
No,
we're not going back. I agree.
We're awake as a nation.
Yep, exactly. Big Tech says the 60s hippie peaceniks turned into Russia-hating warmongers. You're right. You can't make it up. It's crazy. Zriki says supported Albanians drug cartels, not like Clinton. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about?
He's anti-Trump.
Oh, he's an anti-Trump guy. Okay, fun. Let's see. Cosmic Pepe. Rural Maine is Tucker. Okay, I didn't know that. Divine inspiration. Now Trump and voters know why the snakes are in the swamp. Amen. You know, guys, we always Holly voted for Thune. That's what it was. He came out for Thune instead of Rick Scott. He made an endorsement. That's what it was. Thank you for that. What was I going to say here? Somebody got my mind going, and then I lost it. Sorry, guys. I'll get my thought process back in a second here. Matt Whitaker has already been appointed to something. It's not Attorney General. I can't remember the role, but it's still a big role. He's coming in. He's coming in. Holly says Senate's actually more important, especially if we're abiding to enumerated power. Well, I agree. Listen, Senate. We get so caught up in the presidency, we forget sometimes how powerful the Senate is. We have a multi-stage government for a reason. We have the president, which is executive and is like a mini monarchy, but cannot rule as a monarch, but has certain powers that are monarchish. Then we have the Senate, which is oligarchish, okay, ruled by few, but they are checked and balanced by the House, which the House is the democracy part. We're all represented by our reps who represent a smaller part of the population, and they're a bigger house, and so they're more of the democracy part of it. And so you have those three tiers of government, and then you have the law side, which is the judiciary, and that's how we all check and balance ourselves. So when everybody says we're a democracy, it's not that they're insane because they've been lied to, and there are democratic aspects of our whole government. But it's insane to think, if you actually study our government, that we're a democracy in any way, shape, or form. We are actually all the best parts of all the governments combined into this genius idea, which we call it a republic because it does start with law first, because we all come from the Constitution. But the fact is that we have aspects of each kind of major government, which is it's genius. It's absolutely genius. Trey Gowdy's total deep state. I agree with you guys on that. Susan Collins needs to go back to NPR or be the new editor for Cat Fancy magazine. She could be the childish cat lady cover.
She can hang out with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, exactly. Vince says, take a few minutes, brag on my membership. How much time? Oh, thank you, Vince. I appreciate that. If you guys do want to look into membership, it's $3 a month. You get access to the Discord, which is popping. I love our Discord group. And that goes 24/7. And then access to the members' lives. So it's only $3 a month, and it supports the channel so we can make this happen. I try to be on 4 or 5 nights a week. So you get a lot of content for a little bit. But thanks for reminding me, Vince. And please like, share, subscribe. That part's free. Yeah, Trey Gowdy's awful. He's awful. Remember, there was a time when we all thought Trey Gowdy was good. He talks a good game, man. He knows how to speak the words. But
there's a few of those guys that we've learned more about in recent years.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jetlag says we are a constitutional republic. That is completely correct in the terminology. If we're going to label our government constitutional republic, is exactly right. But we have within that constitutional republic, we have tons of aspects of other governments, which is really, really cool. Gowdy's alien. You guys are all hating on Gowdy big time. I love it.
Gary Gensler's the alien. Look at that guy's face. Can you pull up his eyes? Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to.
He's an ugly dude. The horror factor.
But yeah,
it's not ugly. It's inhuman.
He's an alien rat face is really what he looks like.
That's exactly it.
You know, the alien from outer space. Just a second here. I'm having trouble finding a good picture from him. I probably shouldn't be searching Twitter.
There's no good picture of him.
They're all awful. Oh, I found a good one. Here we go. This is the perfect.
Oh, brace yourself. Ah! Take it away. Take it away.
No, I'm gonna leave it up there for all the.
You gotta get one where his eyes are like bugged out, like he does.
Oh, I
ones
can't.
that are the worst.
I can't do anymore. It's too much. Kimber says, I thought he was awesome talking about Trey Gowdy, but watching the Hillary debacle, my mind was changed. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Salty War Pig shorting Bitcoin. Who's shorting Bitcoin? Gensler? Have I seen the crazy statue outside the United Nations? Looks like something describing about him. I think I know what you're talking about, but it's been a long time since I've looked, Todd. So I don't remember. If somebody wants to tag me in it, I'll look it up. Tag me on Twitter or X. Jeff, talked a great game. Gowdy was hard not to like. 100%. He used to talk great. You know, he really did. He looks like a basset hound. That's awesome. Gowdy and Ellen DeGeneres are the same person. Oh my god.
I don't think Gowdy's moved to England.
Brett, god damn, he's homely. I always love that word, homely. The word
He's
homely
not
is like
homely.
so.
He's not homely. Unless you
like,
want like a horror.
It's like the nicest way to say butt ugly. It's just like cracks me
too
up.
Generous. Too generous.
Did I mention the New York Stock Exchange?
Oh, you there, Ace? Did you freeze or did I freeze? Oh, there you are. You froze for a second.
Did you lose me?
I did, but maybe everyone else.
I think it was you. The New York Stock Exchange guy went to go blow it up after he'd lost a bunch of money. And I think it was because he was upset because he believes of the corruption on Wall Street, which there is, and that they were wiped out because of it. And so he went to go bomb the New York Stock Exchange, but he was busted. So anyways, that's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So yeah, they got him. And so it was all okay. So, as we're drawing to a close here, well, I don't know. We might last a little bit longer tonight, but this was one of the last things I wanted to share because it was just such a good point. Because after the Gaetz thing, you know, there's a lot of people already afraid of Trump not getting what he wants in this administration. It'll be stopped. I don't agree with that. I just think there will be setbacks, but we'll keep winning. But Seth Keshel wrote this. If you're upset about these cabinet picks, remember 15 days ago when we were gripped with anxiety about the vote counting. Again, never forget, we won the election that nobody thought, except for me and a few others, at least none of the big people thought we were going to win. And we all had a little fear, even if we were feeling kind of confident. You'd have been thrilled to know your future self would be irritated with President-elect Trump's picks for the games Washington plays. As a matter of perspective, you choose this over the Senate greasing through Harris's picks. That's just, again, perspective. Yeah. We're living in a really good time right now, guys.
It's good times, man. It is good times from here on out.
I agree. I think we're just going to keep winning. Alan says, who's a good Republican in Alaska for us to run against Murkowski? I mean, listen, I think in Alaska,
like anyone from Alaska.
Well, I think in Alaska we could still get Sarah Palin, and she was a beloved governor, two-term beloved governor, won in landslides both times.
She quit on the midterm.
She did, but that was a while ago. And if she got MAGA support behind her, I think she'd be a great senator, at least for one term. She's still young. She's still feisty. And I think she's a true believer. I do. I hate how the McCain campaign used her, how they let her be abused. She's not good on camera. I'll say that. I mean, she looks nice, but she's not quick. But I do think she's smart. So she's one. But I don't know anybody else in Alaska. It's a very small population. They don't necessarily have a lot of stars.
Just walk down the street in Anchorage and pick anybody. We'll be fine.
We could probably get one of those
these people fight off moose and bear and bears and stuff. So
that's true. I
think any one of them.
That's all true. The reason I brought up Palin is because I saw her on a chat not too long ago, and she's very pro-Trump, very MAGA, and she's still young enough to last for a while. And the truth is she's still a star. And by a star, I just mean great name recognition, And, she could put Alaska back on the map a little bit, but we'll see. I guess what it comes down to. Well, that was the original MAGA,
That's right. Yeah.
It
Tea Party, remember
was.
that?
So, yeah, exactly. Kimber says, poof. My country just today finished our counts and have to do recounts of 3 races. Right.
What country is that?
I'm guessing ours. I think today is when they.
County. Oh, my county.
Oh, your county. Okay. I thought you said country. I read it wrong. Jetlag says Kim Clement was spot on. Yeah, he was. He really was. So, Brett, 630 watching, only 209 likes. Yeah, we can do better. I think we can get up to 300 guys on the likes. Please like, share, subscribe. We keep pushing this out there. Listen, this show's growing. Oh, by the way, I can't say a name yet, but today I got confirmation. Until it's actually scheduled, I'm not going to reveal the name, but I got confirmation today of somebody who wants to come on my show and do an interview, and it's a big one. This would be by far the biggest person who's ever been on my show. This is one of the biggest conservative influencers of the past 10 years. So I'm very excited about getting this together. So I'm just waiting for, he said it's going to be a few weeks, but he's going to get back to me. And then, so anyways, when this happens, it's going to be a great show. So please like, share, subscribe so you don't miss that, because you will not want to miss this one. I told him that he's one of those types that has to play it safe a lot and on a lot of people's shows. And I told him, you're not going to have to play it safe on my show. So, but it's going to be really good stuff. Todd Earhart with the donation. Thank you, Todd. $5 donation. I really appreciate that. That is awesome. Tex says Sarah Palin's a cousin to the entire bunch, Bush's, Obama's, and Cheney's. I mean, maybe. I don't think so, but you might be right. Alaska has Democrat representatives. Is there representatives, Democrats? Their House of Representatives? That's crazy. I can't imagine anything being blue in Alaska. They're just too tough up there. Jeff, you're so pumped for America. There's unbelievable technology about to be commercialized. Unbelievable technology. Great days ahead. Jeff, I tend to agree with that. I think we're going to unearth a lot of hidden technologies the next few years. I am hesitant about some of the things some people prognosticate about what's coming. There's some crazy beliefs out there, but I don't necessarily believe there's like special med beds that you can just climb into and be perfect, because of it.
You never saw was the Marvel movie?
Which one?
Thor 2 has DNA sequencers in it.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff. The
problem with the med beds is you got to get the dark elves with them. So I don't know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Here you are talking about like the worst Marvel movie of them all. It's Thor 2.
Dark elves.
Yeah, that's the one we all tried to forget happened out of the first 20. So there's that, but I do think what we'll see is, I think as big pharma gets cleaned up, we're going to actually experience some cures we didn't know we had. I think it's very possible there's energy technology that's been hidden, maybe Tesla coils, who knows? But I just think we'll start seeing stuff like that start coming out. I really do. So be interesting. Some people are asking, am I getting Alex Jones? No. What's going on with Laura Loomer? What do you mean, Vince? She is getting destroyed. Listen, I think Laura Loomer, I have mixed thoughts on Laura Loomer. Let me just put it that way.
I like her.
Yeah. Okay. I'm very mixed.
But go for it.
NC governor was Josh Stein, I believe, the Democrat. He won. Jeff, you haven't shared. You tell me through private. Oh, okay. I'd love to hear what you got, man. Stanford, Cleveland, Republican won the only House seat in Alaska. Really? So that gives us 220. And I think there's still 2 House seats in California that have not yet been called. So at best case scenario, we get 222. Worst case scenario, Republicans get 220. I think that's where we're at right now. So Is Bondi going to unburden us from what's been burdened? I think so. Andy, no identity of Portland trans extremists threatening to murder Nancy Mace. Yeesh. That's crazy. Gaetz was debate out the fish RINO sellouts, old trick story. I agree with you, Chris. Absolutely. I talked about that at the beginning of the show. Mike Dunleavy's a Republican, could beat Murkowski. He's the governor. Okay. So there you go. We got 2 years. So Juan Carlos Barragan says, I have hope for us all. Barragan. Okay. I have hope for us all. We're definitely all better together. If we are allowed as a people together, amazing technology can be achieved. Amen. I agree with that completely.
Very true.
Yeah. So Hobbs, Loomer's pissed at Tim Pool and unfriended him when Milo spoke against her. Yeah, Milo went off on her last night. He's got some interesting things to say. And Milo came with the receipts today on X too. It's pretty wild.
I gotta listen to that.
You do. It's a great show. So show picture of Burns from The Simpsons like Gary Gensler. All right, I'll pull up Burns. Sure. And then we're gonna start getting ready. I gotta start winding down here, guys, because it's getting late. I still got Eric and I work tomorrow, so some of us work in this country still. Not many of us, but some of us. There's a Burns picture right there. He does look like Gensler. It's very similar. It's pretty scary. So, who's not going to be appointed to the Senate? Nick, what did I miss on that one? I'm sorry. Dunleavy. I miss what name you're saying there. Did I see Charlie Kirk destroy Asian student? No, I haven't. So Pam's easy on the eyes. Absolutely. Jeff, just go to Milo's Twitter feed. You'll see him have all these this craziness on Laura Loomer. So, all right, guys. On that note, I think it's time to call it a night. We got there's so much news going on right now, so there's a good chance I'll be back on tomorrow. I don't always do Friday nights, but I think I'll be back tomorrow. So we'll go through that stuff. But for tonight, let's end in a prayer, guys. Good things are going on. This whole Gaetz thing really going in our favor. I like Bondi. I actually think she's going to be better, and this makes Gaetz a free agent to be strong for us in other ways. So Gaetz isn't going anywhere. He's a big part of the movement, one of the big stars of the MAGA movement. So I'm not worried about that at all. But if you're heading out, please like, share, subscribe, and otherwise hang out. Or I always like to end in a prayer here. So Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you so much that we do get to debate about Trump's cabinet picks instead of Kamala's. We are just very blessed to be in this place. We are it's in a way it's political first world problems, because we're living the best life right now, pretty much most people in the world, as far as the way our politics are coming together. So bless Trump and the team with wisdom and safety, and bless everybody in this chat, God, to make the best decisions going forward, to navigate whatever crazy times are coming, so they can prosper and just be a part of making this country better than ever going forward. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Amen. Love you guys. Have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Eric, any last thoughts?
Man, it's ever since the election, I just feel so good. There's hope. Hope is back. Right?
Hope is back.
And the culture has shifted, and we're winning. Yep. And I just, even if there's a bad news day, which there really isn't, but, Gaetz was a surprise, I just feel great because things are happening, and we're only 2.5 weeks, from the election. I think as things go on, it's just going to get better and better. It's amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely agree. So on that note, guys, please like, share, subscribe before you go. Appreciate you. Love you all. Have a great night, and see you all tomorrow. Good night.